Welcome to Emilee's Paper Caper and day 22 of 30 days of sketches. Here at Emilee's Paper Caper, I love to scrapbook, rubber stamp, junk journal, and make cards. So if you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing. And if you're already a subscriber, welcome back. I love your comments and questions. I'm always trying to reply to all the comments and questions, so please make my day and ask me anything. I'm happy to talk about paper crafts of all kinds. When I recorded this video, the sound did not record, so I'll do a voiceover instead, and this might be a little bit different than what you usually have been seeing on my channel, but it will work. So this is day 22 of 30 days of sketches, and 30 days of sketches is hosted by Christy of Christy's Beautiful Life. We're working with a wonderful sketch. It looks like this, and it was created by Melinda Sweetman. She is on YouTube, and I will link to her channel down in the description, along with a link to Christy's channel and a link to the YouTube playlist for all the other inspiration based on this sketch, and a Facebook link to a Facebook group where you can post your take on this sketch and see lots of other takes. For this sketch, it does call for one photo, but I'm going to use two photos. One of them I have covered up, one of the people in the photos, because I don't have permission to use their photo on YouTube. But these photos were taken in April at the Special Olympics district swimming meet, and Audrey and her teammate are congratulating each other with a fist bump. And isn't that what athletes should always be doing, and sports should always be about supporting each other and doing your best and having a good time? And I just really loved that picture, so I'm going to use it here, and just know that the reason part of that photo is covered up is because I just don't have permission from that person. I'm using my Distress Oxide Broken China to ink around the edges of this paper. It's a specialty paper. I think it's kind of a mulberry paper that has a sewn pattern into it. And I think it's perfect for a swimming themed photo because it kind of reminds me of water. And so this is going to be a nice background for this layout. Melinda's sketch has some layering behind the photo, and I want to find some colors that will complement the Special Olympics banner behind the athletes when they receive their medals. So I've got this red paper. I'm not sure that I'll use the green at this point. I do end up tearing it off, but I start by just kind of testing it out and adding some inked edges. I'm really into inking edges and tearing lately. It just adds some visual interest to the layouts that I'm really enjoying right now. Let me know if you're into that as well, or if you prefer a sharp, crisp edge cut with a straight edge. Let me know. So this paper that I'm working with right now was printed on a gel press. I have a 5x7 gel plate, and I get it out a couple times a year and just do lots and lots of prints, and then I have them ready to use on layouts like this one. If you would like to know more about gel press, I will link to a playlist up in the card and down in the description with lots of videos that I've done using the gel press or using papers created on the gel press. It's a lot of fun and gives you a mixed media look on your pages whenever you want that kind of look. I've really love this paper. I want to use this paper across the width of the page, so I'm going to tear it in half, and then I will make it look longer than it actually is. So I want to go ahead and ink 3 sides of it. I'll leave that 4th side that'll be hidden by the photo uninked, but I'll go ahead and get these edges inked, and then I think things will start to fall together really well as I start to layer things and experiment. There's that photo that I was telling about that I have part of it covered up. I'm going to grab some paper scraps and create some sort of a photo mat for that smaller photo. This paper isn't quite big enough, but I will make a photo mat somehow. I've got to use a smaller piece and create a triangle and then sort of do photo corners. You can find ways to stretch your paper like this and just get a little bit creative and figure it out is part of the fun for me when I'm scrapbooking. Now it's time to kind of start laying things out, and this is where I decide the green has got to go. When I extended that gel printed paper, I kind of didn't realize it, but I needed to do the same thing with this red paper. Kind of make it look wider than it actually is by tearing it in half and then making it the center will hide behind the photos. It'll make it look much wider than it actually is. Finding a way to use the amount of paper you have is part of the fun. As I'm looking at this, I realize I need just one more scrap, right? Just one more. When you start layering, sometimes you really get into it and you want just a little bit more. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow and with the feel until it is just so. With the layering like this, I want to keep it the way I have it because I really like it, and it took a while to get it this way. So I'm carefully turning over the pieces and adhering them one at a time and then kind of flipping them back into place. I don't usually adhere like this. I usually flip everything over and then just put the layout back together. But in the instance of all this layering, I really wanted it to kind of stay this way. So I'm taking a little extra moment, which I know is unusual for me. I'm usually just lickety split, but for me, this is like taking extra time because I really liked the layering and want it to be just like it is when I laid it out. But it does turn out fine, and it was worth the extra 15 seconds that I took. I swear, I'm just always too in a hurry. I should take my time more often. So I don't have any journaling or title on this page because it's going to go adjacent to these pages that have that information already documented. Let me know what you think about this layout and my take on today's sketch. Keep on scrapping and paper crafting.